Hello and welcome to our program. When we think of minerals like mica or lignite or coal, we think of them as something very far away from our everyday lives, deep under the earth. But actually, the forward linkages of all these are very, very closely linked to our real world life. Our guest on the show is somebody who's closely linked to the world of mining. Please welcome the CMD of Neyveli Lignite, Shri B. Surender Mohan. Welcome to our program, sir.
Thank you very much for inviting me to this program. I'm really happy to participate in this program.
We're very happy to have you here. So we'll also, during the course of this program, want to understand from you and bring some dark secrets from the bottom of the earth up to help better our understanding of mining and minerals. Your interest in mining as a specialization of engineering, how did that develop?
It was a midway development. Actually, I wanted to become an engineer, civil engineer most basically. So, but 1972 there was dearth of jobs for civil engineers.
Okay.
Whereas the mining was in boom at that time. So, I had to switch over to mining engineering in third year. And because the salary I was offered at that time, 4-figure salary they used to say. So, their mining was not being preferred. Very less students were used to be there mining. So, the professor of mining used to come to other departments and say, please come to mining.
Okay.
You will get fat salary and all that. So, since there was unemployment in civil engineering, I thought, okay, let us go to mining. That's how it was not a thought of mining at all. But my desire was to become a civil engineer, but turned into a mining engineer.
And any regrets for
No regrets. It was not regret. Rather, it was improved the career of being a mining engineer, I can say.
So, when we think of mining, I think the first thing that comes to our mind is probably coal. And lignite and coal, somewhere in our minds, we also confuse that, okay, so coal and lignite, what's the difference? How are they? So, just give us some details on these.
Yeah. Lignite is also part of coal. It comes in the coal family itself. Because in the coal formation, there are 4 stages of formation of coal: peat, lignite, bituminous, and anthracite coal.
Okay.
Anthracite is the highest caloric value, whereas the bottommost is the peat. Then comes lignite. Peat means it is almost wooden wood stage only.
Okay.
But lignite comes after that. About 25 to 50 million years it takes to convert this into different stages. So, the advantage of lignite was first found out in Neyveli in 1950s in that range, where a farmer was doing some drilling of the well. He found some blackish material. Then he informed to GSA at that time during the before Independence Day. So, then after it has been found out that there is it's called lignite, and ultimately it has proved that lignite, and then slowly lignite mining has taken place. Basically, wherever lignite is there, there is no coal. Coal is not there. For example, Tamil Nadu is having lignite, but there is no coal. Rajasthan is also having lignite, there is no coal. Gujarat also having lignite, there is no coal. Like that, there wherever the coal is not, the lignite is there, or where lignite is there is no coal.
Alright.
So, the best way is also a form of energy. So, how best we can capitalize this, remove the lignite and use it for better purpose. So, lignite mining was first started only by Neyveli Lignite Corporation in Tamil Nadu, that too by importing the technology from Germany initially.
When was this started?
It started in 1961, 62. By mining started there. But our project started in 1956 by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. So, the actual mining started in 1962. So, it takes so much time for development of the mines. So, this has led to the mining and also the power generation, mining cum power. So, what happens here, lignite, it cannot be transported to the long distances, it cannot be stored for long time. So, we have to necessarily have the pithead power plant. Means there is no problem, there is no any lead time in transporting the lignite to the power plant.
So, it is mined and then used as fuel?
Yeah, just fuel to the power plant. Power plant just within 2 kilometers, 1.5 kilometers is available.
Alright.
So, we take by conveyor system, no cost of any truck. Totally the mining, after mining it will be taken by the conveyor system to the power plants.
So it's power generation and mining is linked. They are
That's
backward
why
and
we are
forward
called as
in this.
integrated. We are integrated project.
Okay.
And we are the only company having this mining and power generation in a big way.
Okay.
And these mines are the Asia's biggest mines in Neyveli.
All right.
Yeah.
So in terms of leading an organization which has two totally different areas and mandates, and I think the way they work also, so it must be quite a challenging task for you.
It's quite a challenge task, particularly mining is the heart of the operations there. And mining is open cast mining. And this Neyveli is situated in a cyclonic prone area. There we get rainfall, about 2,000 rainfall will be coming, 1,500, 2,000 rainfall, annual rainfall will be there.
My God. Okay.
Doing rainfall is very, very difficult operations, everything,
And
water will be
dangerous
there.
also, right?
Not dangerous, we have to have the plan to attack that dangerous situations.
Okay.
There were situations where the mine got flooded, there will be water will be there, we had to pump out.
But the process continues
Process continues.
because the power generation will stop.
Hey,
then.
please stop. There were instances where power stops also, but because of the experience we gain and how to tackle this problem of heavy monsoon, per day there will be 150 mm rainfall will be there, 160 mm rainfall will be there, 100 mm rainfall will be there. So that rainfall will create a lot of water in the mines, but we are equipped with the for pumping of the water immediately. The moment pumping is over, even after the moment rain stops, the production starts, because there is no question of any tire mounted vehicles in the mines.
Okay.
It's only through conveyor system, everything goes through conveyors and excavators.
Okay.
That's the advantage of this technology.
Neyveli Lignite Corporation is today India's energy bridge to the 21st century and a fulfillment of the vision of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, India's first Prime Minister. Mines of NLC in Neyveli and Rajasthan together has production capacity of 30.6 million tons of lignite per annum and 2,740 megawatts of electricity through its thermal power stations.
And we are the only company in India using this technology. This is called as specialized mining technology, where you have bucket excavators, conveyors and spreaders.
All right.
Like that it will be there. So this technology is not there in India. Though initially it was started in Gujarat, but they could not able to continue with that. Then they went for the conventional system of mining, that is shovel dumper combination. So in the coal mining, normally shovel dumper will be used. A shovel and dumper. Shovel is for the excavation.
Right.
Dumper is for transportation.
Okay.
But here, this is a different system where this is being followed in Germany. Mainly in lignite mining, Germany are the pioneers. They have got a very big mines.
Okay.
But the things are much simpler there
The
compared to here.
challenges and local challenges must be different.
Local challenges for them are less because they don't have much rainfall. Number one, there is no water pumping. Their stripping ratio is very less. Our stripping ratio, they don't have soil to fill up again back the pit.
So what is stripping ratio?
Stripping ratio means for 1 ton of lignite,
Okay.
how much overburden we have to remove? Waste.
Ah.
So we have to remove from surface, there will be some soil, then only lignite comes. So after going 100 meter depth, then the lignite starts coming up.
Okay.
So for excavating 100 meter depth below, that ratio works out to like that.
Right.
See, one ton of lignite, so much, and pumping also, pumping continuous process. There is lot of aquifer. Aquifer means water.
Okay.
Water high pressure is there under the lignite seam. So unless we pump the water, otherwise lignite seam will burst. The entire things will be in water.
Okay.
So we have to control the water pumping.
So
pumping
prevention
done.
is also happening
Yes.
simultaneously.
Water pumping is when this water utilized again in the power plant.
Okay.
Same water utilized in power plant. So there is use of water is being done.
Okay.
At the same also helping in doing safe mining.
All right.
At the same time giving a lignite out.
Right.
And very mechanized, highly mechanized. This is all highly mechanized mines.
Shri Surender Mohan, when we think of mining, we also think somewhere of huge environmental damage, of these huge cavities in the earth, and literally stripping is a word you used, stripping the earth. And somewhere I think the people who are working there, it's a job, it's a requirement, it's a national need for development, but there's also a cost to the environment. And I think Neyveli is also understanding that and doing a lot to somewhere balance it. Could you share some efforts with us?
There is a notion that mining means it is going to damage the environment. This is the notion in every common man's mind. But there are examples like Neyveli where the mining is being done at one side, where the other side the greenery is there, full of greenery is there, full of lakes are there, good lakes are there. So many birds are staying there. So what we do is we also take care of environment. Particularly, we have inbuilt technology where after mining the overburden comes concurrently into the filling into the pit. Means where lignite is removed, automatically by conveyor system it comes to the called as backfilling. It's called as backfilling technology. It's a concurrent filling. It is cuts from the excavator overburden. It comes back to the filling. That means simultaneously we are filling the pit back.
So you're creating a positive cycle.
Yes.
So the waste from there becomes the resource
back
for
filling.
that.
And then wherever there is what happens is once we take out the soil, entire soil cannot be put back into the mine. There will be some fill factor. So some soil has to be kept outside. It can't go inside. That's called as outside dumps. You can see dumps will be there outside. Any mine if you see, there will be dumps on the soil, because we cannot exactly airtight there will be celling will be there. All will not go again back to the pit. Streaming also. That dumps we have done lot of reclamation of the dumps, putting lot of afforestation, full of trees will be there. We have planted 18 million trees in Neyveli.
18 million?
Million trees in Neyveli. This is an example. People from Singarani Collieries, from Coal India, they come and visit and see our steps. What we done, we also got an award from President of India also on the environmental award for us, Neyveli.
So heartening to hear this.
Yes.
So we're going to go in for a short break. When we come back, we'll understand from you that you're giving back to the environment, but you're also giving back to the community. And in mining, huge communities are involved. It's like their lives change. Like Neyveli, now it was a village, now it's a huge township. So like it's like a mini city constructed over there. And also we'd want to understand from you challenges that in such a big corporation with diverse labor, working with different categories of people, the human resource development angle, and as a renewable resource, what are the challenges India could face in maybe when we run out of stock, how long are the stocks? These are fears, but we'll learn and understand more for you. But right now, a short break. Welcome back. We are still in conversation with the CMD of Neyveli Lignite Corporation, Shri B. Surender Mohan. So today, CSR is a buzzword in organizations across. It's become mandated also by the government that a certain proportion go as CSR activities. But for organizations like yours, CSR is inbuilt into how they really need to operate, and you've been doing it for many years. Some lessons we could learn?
CSR could be a new word for others, but for Neyveli it is a very old thing. We are doing for last 4 or 5 decades with under the name of peripheral development scheme. It means wherever project is going on, Neyveli mines and power plants are there, around the surrounding area of about 10 kilometers, we are taking care of that areas, those villages, under the peripheral development scheme funds. So every year we used to spend at that point of time 2 crores per annum we spend every year. Apart from that, when we had achieved the golden year, and the 10 crore rupees we are spending on that. So this is part of Neyveli. Now this CSR has come, DP guidelines have come, and now under the Companies Act this has come. Basically, if you see a power plant, once you acquire the land and put a compound wall, then the job is over. There is no question of any land issue again. Whereas in a mine, the land is a continuous process. Unless we acquire every year 200 hectares, 300 hectares of land, and this is challenging. You are asking me what is the challenging job. The challenging is how to convince the people and get the land for mining. There were many instances where we will be very close to the village, they will not be vacating it. Then there will be a standstill in the mining. So we have to plan in advance, and we always plan in advance, and we give the notification in 5 years to 6 years before that we want so much of land advance position. But always there is a demand for more, the demand for a job. So these are the issues that are coming up. But we were able to acquire, when I became director of mines in 2008, then this problem came up, how the land issues have come up. Then we had a very big meeting with the mainly stakeholders, they are the villagers, village presidents and the local collector, district collector and other political parties, and we have settled some arrangements, how to go about it. Then we have increased our rate of acquisition rate.
Okay.
For about 3 lakhs, we increased to 5 lakhs or so. And then after that arrangement, we have acquired within 2 years 1,200 hectares of land we acquired. That made a breakthrough in land acquisition, and everything is through Lok Adalat system. We will be doing in thousands of people will be coming and taking checks. It will be a big mela. So that's how the land acquisition we did. But there is always a demand for a job, which is becoming a big problem. So what we did is that we are awarding so many contracts. So we said at least let us give 50% of the jobs. We will insist on the contractor to deploy at least 50% of the people
from the local area whose land has been taken.
Land is taken. Otherwise, they are being paid compensation. They are also being paid for the house, the settle. So all these things as per rules, everything we do. Rather, more than the LA and RR Act, we should do it. Unless you do more, because as per rules, everything will come. But if something you should do more, because we want land. Otherwise, it will come to a standstill.
Right. And goodwill is transported like this.
Yes. And one thing, whatever we are spending on CSR, and we are one of the few companies who have made the CSR norms much above the norms. Our norm was 0.5 to 2% of the profit, PAT.
Right.
But we always spend more than 1%. Last year we have spent 1.87% of profit. That comes to around 27 crores of rupees we have spent.
Right.
Only on the CSR activities.
Right.
And particularly we are attacking mainly education, skill development, empowerment of women, health care, and infrastructure facilities like roads, borehole drilling water, drinking water, and lot of school buildings we had constructed. Village schools, they should look good, good benches. They should sit properly and do all that we did.
Right.
So this is how we feel very happy when we see happiness in them when they get such a good facility. And the demand is always there that NLC only should do these jobs. We don't allow others to do it.
NLC salutes Mother Earth. CSR elucidates the melange of noble visions. A massive afforestation program in and around the mines. A sublime success story of water table management. Empowered education for rural children. Resettlement benefits for displaced persons. Daycare center for mentally challenged. Recreational facilities and occupational health services to its employees. Public parks and plantations in the township. For a better tomorrow, NLC goes to any depth to give you the best.
That is the what you call a kind of goodwill we have generated among our stakeholders, and they come sometimes forward that we want to give our land, please take and do something.
So what could be better?
Yeah, this is how we have changed the scenario of the land there, but always there will be a problem. See, this life means problem is there. We have to attack those problems. We have to sort out the problems, and definitely there are solutions for this. And these challenges of environment we have addressed. We have also addressed the issues of the CSR, land acquisition. Of course, there is a new act has come. The expectations have gone up. Now this, because they say we have to give 2 times more, 3 times more, 4 times more.
The acquisition rates.
The acquisition rates have gone up now. So we may face some problems, but definitely there is a solution for this.
So you'll find new and better solutions.
Yes, we will find a solution, because we have to change our also as per the time.
Right.
Because we have to change.
Right.
So we are confident that Neyveli will be able to sustain these problems, because when compared to the power generation cost what we incur, the cost of the land will not be that high, number one. Maybe for mining it may be costly, but when you compare total power generation, the entire scenario of growth takes place. We have to do some sacrifice, but at the same time we have to be within the limited areas. But the problem is getting about the employment. The only thing is now issue is about the employment. Already Neyveli is a company started in 1957. So a lot of employment at that time, the situation was different. It has to be more employment oriented. Not much profit should be done at that time. It was in those days. It was public sector to be done like that. But subsequently we have to compete generation,
which is actually sustainable in the long run. So you're seeing the social objective, seeing the profit making and trying to balance the two. And also I think with increased mechanization, which is making it safer,
Yes.
it's also becoming less labor oriented
Less
and
labor
more.
oriented.
So that's also quite
so highly mechanized. Ours is highly mechanized,
right.
and it is very costly also. Each equipment is about 125, 120 crore, 130 crores. Each equipment will cost.
Right.
Mostly imported.
Right.
So we have addressed these issues to the extent, but still we have to go further ahead in these
Right.
areas, and we are sure we are able to do it.
Right.
And we have also got a lot of plans of expansion and all that further growth. there.
When we talk of further growth and moving ahead, there's also land which is being left behind.
Yes.
That means you've finished your mining, it's over. So what, does that become forest area, or do you get rehabilitation done there and give it back to people?
No, there is a request, or there is a requirement from the people that land should be given. But here the mine is, one mine is running for last 50 years.
Okay.
So, it is a very big deposits, not like small deposits. So, a power plant, the one power plant life will be at least 30-40 years will be there. Now, one power plant running for 50 years now in us.
Right.
So, that mine is catering the power plant for last 50 years. So, that mine also cannot be closed or cannot be handed over partly.
Right.
So, that operation will be continuing. So, we cannot allow somebody outside to come inside area.
Till the whole thing is done.
Yeah, done. Till
Right.
the mine is closed and power plant is closed.
So I think that cycle is now
That
probably in the next
cycle,
10 years or so
yeah,
going
it will
to come.
It will come after next year. It will be coming. Now, in that place we have ordered one more new plant. Then some new mine will come.
Okay.
But that is not possible, because by the time we don't know after 50 years who is the legal heirs, how to hand over, who is the legal for that. After 50 years we don't know.
Okay.
So many people will be changing.
Right. Right.
So, it is very difficult to get together. But now, as of now, what we are doing is we are taking the environment to a full greenery will be there,
Okay.
full of plants will be there, trees will be there. We have developed the artificial lakes where boating is there, birds are there, like that.
So the beneficiary is nature,
Nature,
around
yes.
over there.
At present, but there is a demand for that. That
Okay.
we have to address in some particular time. We will address that
And
issue
being
also.
the great forward thinkers that you are at Navily, I'm sure you're thinking about something over
Yes,
there.
yes.
When we talk again of working in a community, giving back to the community and making the circle complete, but at the same time we are somewhere denuding resources which are not being replenished. It takes millions of years for lignite to form. How much lignite do we have? What are we doing with our resources? Are we also planning on alternates?
See, here in the country, we are having 42,000 million tons, or say 42 billion tons of lignite in the country. Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Kashmir,
Okay.
some part,
Okay.
and Kerala a little bit. So, mineable reserves are available only in these three states: Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan, Gujarat.
What do you mean by mineable?
Mineable means which can be economically mined.
It's to do with depth.
Depth, many depth. Suppose it's more depth is there, and when small quantity there is of no use. So, depth should
it has
be
to be feasible.
feasible.
Okay.
So, the deposits only in these three states are most feasible is Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
Compared to Gujarat and Rajasthan also, ours is more feasible.
Okay.
We are able to plan larger based power plants in Neyveli compared to even in Rajasthan or Rajasthan. There is pocket deposits. It will have only 40 million tons, 50 million tons reserves, whereas here we have 300, 400 million tons.
So how many years do we have?
So, out of 40 billion tons, what I am coming to you is that now we are doing mining only up to 150 meter depth, 150 meters maximum. So, deposits are available 150 meters below, only 15% of this available within 150 meters. So, balance cannot be mined with the present technologies available in the world or in India mainly.
Okay.
In the world, some countries are trying to tap the energy by underground coal gasification. Means they will not do the mining, they will put only boreholes, and with that they will send hot air and everything and take out the gas. That is the way of that is only in the experimental stage. So, we are also looking into it, and we have also given expression of interest for that, because huge reserves are available. So, instead of mining, and it may become not possible with this technology, what is possible we will do this technology, and what is available, and will come to millions of years again. See, out of 42 billion tons, 15% goes means more than 35-36 millions available. That if we type this way of energy, and once we are successful, already we have issued tenders, and IIT Chennai and from Russia and USA they have participated. They are participating in tenders for this technology. First we want to do a pilot scale. So, if that is successful,
Then we have more depth to go.
Yeah,
then
we
the
can go more
reserves
depth,
increase.
and we need not do open cast mining, removing soil and all that. We can do only holes and then take out the gas if it is successful. So it is under the very planned stage, very primitive stage now,
Okay.
experimental stage.
Okay.
But otherwise, we have to think of this will come for we have got in naval itself 4,150 million tons is there only in my naval itself. So that will come another for 60-70 years, no problem. But further also available, but we have to think of other resources, renewable energy, which is being thought of now, though it is costly, but now things have come down now. So already we have entered into 10 megawatt power plant, solar.
Okay.
Already construction going on now under implementation in Neyveli. Though we are not binding or compulsory for us to do the renewable energy, because there is there is compulsory is there, they have to go for some solar and renewable energy.
Right.
We are the generator, so
It's
we
a
are not
choice you've made.
choice of it, but we want to go in for the green energy also.
Okay.
Like that, we are going for solar. We are also going for wind. Wind, 51 megawatt wind power plant already it started.
Okay.
It is going to start shortly in Tirunelveli district of Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
So these are the areas where we are entering into parallelly this year also, and we are also entering into coal. Now we are talking of lignite, but we want to also enter into the coal-based power stations, because we are, I told you the depth we have restriction for us. Overburden ratio is very high in the lignite. Lignite is mine is becoming costlier.
So are there expectations of finding coal around there?
Not around there. What we are doing is we have approached Ministry of Coal, and we have explained the difficulties in the growth of our only lignite. We have to also spread into other areas and grow parallelly up.
And coal can be transported.
Yeah, could be transported. So we are having a power plant at Tuticorin, Tamil Nadu.
Okay.
Already plant is almost ready. There is 2 into 500 megawatt, 1000 megawatt plant.
Right.
So within a couple of months it will be started.
Right.
Under commissioning stage now. For that coal we are based power plant. It is shore based. So there is a shore. By port it will come from sea. It will come to from MCL, one of the coal fields.
Right.
Coal will come there, and then so we want to enter the coal also.
Right.
Apart from this, while we are having the strength in mining of lignite
But you're still looking around
and power
seeing
generation,
relevant.
we feel that why not we enter the coal also. This is the first coal based power plant which is going to commission very shortly.
Right.
And again Uttar Pradesh also we are going to start 3 into 660 megawatt Uttar Pradesh near Kanpur, Ghatampur, coal based. There also land acquisition 50% over for the plant.
Which
And
is actually the biggest stumbling block in starting something, land acquisition.
Land acquisition is going on there. There also we got a very good response from the villagers.
All right.
But there is again some demand for the more amount that we will sort out. We are able to sort out that also. Only problem with the coal blocks, because forest land will be involved. So forest clearances will take some time.
Okay.
So we see with the new government, definitely we hope something will come out, and we are sure that that also will take a lead in Uttar Pradesh also.
Is there a balance somewhere that we say that we need to go slow? We need, so these resources might be at our disposal, but maybe we don't want to consume them at the pace at which we are consuming. Is there some kind of a policy or a
See,
larger vision document?
Now when we are starving, what we will do?
That's the
There is a heavy demand, there is a heavy shortage. So first we have to some extent we have to satisfy the people,
and
so
we haven't reached that stage.
that's why we not reach it. So at least to some extent we should quickly grow and say yes, now we have met at least 60% of our requirement in the entire country. Okay, now we will think about. So first we have to see how to grow faster. This is what I am thinking, is that the speed and growth is required at this stage, because there is no time to wait.
Okay.
There is no time.
There's a
to
huge
wait.
need for whatever
Huge
is
need,
being
whatever
produced.
Whatever we do, it is not for a shortage is there.
Okay, all
So we
right.
have to rise up to the occasion of the needs of the people. That's very important.
Talking of needs of the people, and here talking of needs of the organization.
Yes, organization also.
You're in diverse areas
Yes.
here, sir, and for you to get in smaller spaces, because you're away from the main hubs where you can get good human resource and really the kind of talent that you want to attract, but you still have very good people working for you. How do you do this?
See, here in Neyveli, we are having totally about 16,600 employees. Out of that, about 4,000 and 4,500 officers are there. So there is a good mix of people from different regions in Neyveli. It's a PSU, and we have seen people, once they join Neyveli, for 30 years they don't leave. This attrition is very least. Attrition.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unusual, because
Yes.
corporates are struggling with attrition.
That is because, one, there are two reasons. One, there is a good township has been developed, a 50 square kilometer township, 20,000 quarters are there. Everybody is provided with a quarter. There is no problem of water, no problem of power supply.
Schooling?
Schooling is our best schooling.
Really?
Yeah. More than 32,000 children are studying in our township.
Okay. That's huge.
And out of that, 70 to 80% are from the surrounding villages. So that is what it makes, people, once they have got a schooling, once they have got a best township, once they have no problem, only they have to travel 4 hours to the Chennai if they want to go near the city. But in naval itself, everything is available nowadays.
So why would you
So
want
that makes them to stay back in Navali, and one descent where they don't want to go out of Navali also. Suppose if we want to start in Uttar Pradesh some project, very difficult people to convince and send them.
And you're saying it's green, it's got lakes, it's so pretty around.
So it is so good, so people don't want to leave. So that is also one of the issues. Everything is good, so people don't want to go, but unless we sacrifice something, others, next generation cannot get the benefits. Somebody has sacrificed earlier to us, that's why we are enjoying. So we have to sacrifice something so the other next generation will also enjoy.
Right.
So that's how sacrifice should be there within us, that we must sacrifice something.
Right.
Then only there will be a prosperity.
Right. So when you see the grassroots worker in a mine, the miner who goes down, it's difficult work. It's also work in surroundings which are not always, so to say, uncomfortable surroundings. And yet you have to keep their motivation level high. How do you do that?
See, there is a difference between a mine worker in underground and open cast.
Okay.
In open cast mine, we take the employee, the worker, up to the machine by a vehicle.
Okay.
Up to the machine. He comes to the surface to a shift office, time office where he punches, then he will be there. From there, it is our responsibility to take them inside the mine, up to the machine. Machine is having AC. All you take any dumper is the AC. So the working conditions are not that bad as we perceive.
Because we have certain stereotypes in our mind,
Yes, yes,
certain
yes.
films we have seen,
Yes,
certain
yes.
pictures, so it's stuck in our head.
So this is the open cast mining, number one. Number two, there is a lot of these facilities are there. We are able to send a man up to the machine without much hardship for him.
Okay.
He goes there, he operates for 8 hours and comes back. And before we have a continuous system, other man has to go and take over.
Okay.
That we have used them, we call them as hot seat allowance, so that there is no break in the working, He will go and change over the seat there, so that they give some allowance, hot seat allowance.
Okay.
So SME operators are there who operate the big machines. They are very, very critical operation. So we take care of people. We have got different schemes. The people who work in mines, they get little higher amounts, allowances, because that is a tougher job compared to other areas. So
Like-
people in mines, they get a little higher amounts in the incentives.
Like the army, we have a hardship allowance there. So
Yes,
you
he
have
also
a,
got allowance. The mine allowance is separate is there.
Okay.
So that's how they are compensated monetarily, and also benefits,
Okay.
vehicles and all that. We got 1,000 vehicles in our township.
This art of negotiating, whether it's for rehabilitation, again, huge corporations across India are struggling because rehabilitation needs to be done in a very sensitive manner. You do a lot of that. Negotiating with unions, with labor, this is another area where a lot across the country are looking for some kind of reforms, but yet you're negotiating all this. So any skills that you specifically need to do all this? What should be the attitudinal approach to this?
See, attitude approach is we must keep always them in dialogue. The dialogue should not stop.
Communication.
Communication. If that dialogue stops, then they will go in a different wrong direction. So that we should always try to keep them in the dialogue process, that there is something is happening, and we must also, once we commit, we should do it.
Okay. So trust
we
is
should not
built.
we should not go back once we commit. Before committing, we have to think all the pros and cons, keep them the dialogue in process, and that's how the employees also, unions are also very, very cooperative with us, because they know that once we discuss, when we commit, we do it.
Trust level is
Trust level is
important.
important. So that is to be brought up in the unions and
Okay.
employees, because very strong unions are there. And then we have got some contract workers also there.
Okay.
Around 12,000 contract workers are there.
Okay.
So this is also very big issues. Sometimes they go on strike. Again, afterward there will be some it will be there how officers are run the machines, all that.
Right.
But somehow again we have patched up the issues, and then again they are together. So again it goes on.
Right.
So this will be coming. Problems will be coming in industry. In the family, problems are there. In industry, definitely problems will be there.
Right. time now, sir, for another break. Absolutely, you're very right. When we come back, we'll learn a little more about you. You motivate, you balance, you negotiate, you manage. This is all at the professional front. But how do you do challenges again at a personal level, even vis-a-vis yourself? We'll learn about all that. But right now, another break. Welcome back. We are still in conversation with the CMD of Navy Lignite, Shri B. Surender Mohan. So talking of, you said your people are motivated. You know, you have a strike, you have officers who ran the organization and you bridge that gap. You motivate, you inspire. But when it comes to oneself, when you meet hurdles, when you meet issues, when there are problems and you want to do something at work, but something is not happening, you're not getting the desired result, you need to motivate yourself also. How do you do that?
Definitely, whatever we plan sometimes will not succeed, and failure will be definitely happening sometimes. It's not that every time we will be successful, but that failure should not be taken as a last case. So we should try to go on attempting to succeed. Because one said you are having high targets and I have to achieve it, and hard pressed for time. So it has to be done. So it all depends on the understanding of the, particularly the family or the children. Yes, that is very much there in Navy. They understand the work culture of this thing, because more officers are very dedicated. Officers are there.
Okay.
Employees are there. So for them, it should have the motivation or some supporting words, understanding words are required from the family also to understand the problem. They understand, but sometimes we lose the personal life, but definitely that will not be a point, because we feel more satisfied when we achieve something bigger things, which is more helpful to other people.
Okay.
Because somehow I am very much interested in education, skill development for all the villages. I feel very much motivated when they feel that they got these benefits from the company.
So it means somewhere when organizations see working with the community as a CSR activity, then it's just something to give. But here you're saying it's not about giving, it's also the whole nourishing aspect.
Yes.
Because if that work is nourishing you, then it's making you work better in your workplace also.
One work I will tell you, Valaja tank, one tank is there where it is a desilting tank. We have done desilting of the tank.
Okay.
For last 150 years, nobody did that. 150 years.
150 years.
Yes. We have removed that silt, and more than 20,000 acres of the land can be now cultivated, because a lot of water will be stored there.
Okay.
Water scarcity is there. So the entire village community of so many villages, they were extremely happy, and they said nobody did this job. One job of 13.7 crores. One job.
Okay.
But so many people are getting benefited. So that's how the goodwill has developed about Navy.
And that by itself is also nourishing you and the people, the officers and the workers, because they are a part of an organization that cares.
Yes.
And that by itself is very.
So the workers are also very much dedicated. There is no problem about it. So we are managing. Only thing is now workers' strength will be coming down because of retirements.
Okay.
Similarly, then we are thinking of other areas also of new power plants. We are also thinking of acquisition of coal assets abroad, acquisition of some power plants, because we have to grow fast. Now we are Navaratna. So our during my period, it has gone up to now turnover has gone up to income has gone up to 7,000 crores now.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is.
So now your growth path is going to be faster and faster.
Yeah, faster. Profit also highest last year.
Okay.
Highest profit we have last year.
Okay, wonderful. When you were a young engineer, a young mining engineer who came into this field, right? And today you're hiring young mining engineers. Is there a change in the approach and attitude of people coming into the workforce?
There is a change. Young generation, there is a change. What I feel, they are more preferring for a software type jobs, some light jobs, not tough jobs. That's what my feeling.
Okay.
Particularly, they would like to have because when we were there, we used to work in Orissa. I worked in Orissa, then Nagpur. Orissa is a very interior place we worked there.
Right.
Where we have to go for 20 kilometers for getting vegetable. Totally, it's a tribal area. Tough areas were there at that time.
Okay.
So we used to work in that areas. And one thing, when I was in Vizag Steel Plant, this is my fourth company. In Vizag Steel Plant, I was working right from the greenfield project, only land, right from land acquisition.
Right.
to construction of the mines, construction of all the township, construction of the crushing and screening plant, railway siding. So, that has given me a lot of confidence and the development that right from scratch how to put into operation.
Right.
So, that was a great experience. With that experience, I jumped to this company.
So that means somewhere what you're sharing is that whenever you were a little uncomfortable, you were pushed, you walked for so long, whether it was for getting vegetables or you worked in tougher conditions, you started from scratch, as they say, from doorman to chairman, that kind of an attitude in small companies. So that's why the entrepreneur knows so much. So you learnt on the ground, but you learnt with being uncomfortable. And here today, the desire to be comfortable for younger people, to move into comfortable jobs, the moment there's a little discomfort, you want to move. Do you think that somewhere personal growth can suffer? Because people move jobs so fast.
Yes, actually we should have some patience. There will be some discomfort, will be there in any job. For everybody there is a boss. See, you cannot have a person without a boss.
Without a boss.
So, there will be a boss. A boss will be a good, sometimes a boss will be torturing type, sometimes a boss will be always finding fault type, sometimes a boss will be praising type.
Yes.
So, we have to manage, we have to get on with all the bosses. Suppose some boss is not good, immediately we can't do it. But sometimes when you are confident and you are doing a better job, when you are finding that intentionally you are being suppressed, then it is the time for you to go out, move out, and start for a greater growth. So, sometimes it happens, we tell the discomfort. I am not talking of discomfort with any physical conditions, mental conditions will be there. There will be some sort of people will be there.
Right.
At that time, it is better to go out.
So read properly, understand
take
people.
See, I was starting in Coal India.
Right.
I was always thinking that I have left the energy sector and came to mines, that steel plant mines. So, I was thinking when again I will go to Coal India, but it is very difficult to get into the lateral entries. At the point of lateral entry will be difficult. People join there and they go on growing, Definitely getting lateral entry is difficult, double the rate advertise also much.
Right.
So, when this opportunity came, immediately I thought I should now jump into the lignite sector, and that has paid.
Right, because now you're doing power also.
Yes, power also.
You're doing mining also, and you're leveraging all your strengths and your learnings.
Yes, that is a we have to switch over at right time, but risk is there. You are going to work in a different environment and coming at lateral level, there will be a lot of people will be there who will be happy, who will not be happy sometimes.
So learn to adapt to change.
We have to adapt to themselves, but a lot of patience is required for that.
Really?
For the patience, they will become fish out of water. Okay, every time you are resigning and joining some job, then it will be new job, then the new customers, how will you manage?
Right.
So it has to be, there should be some what you call settling period, something we call, that is required. We have to have some patience for some time.
Okay.
Then results will come on its own. Will
all
come.
right. Okay.
And one thing what I have seen is that if you are concentrating on your own targets or your what is to have to achieve, that if you achieve that, that also gives a lot of what you call weightage for you. That the job is going to you know what you have to achieve, and if you are concentrating on that and ensure that it is achieved, and there will be somebody who will recognize. Maybe your immediate boss will not recognize you, but sometimes there are people to recognize you and yes, he has done a good job, let us help him out. That has happened in my case, and definitely it will happen in anybody's case. Only we have to have some patience.
Okay.
And don't go out of a track. You must go on the right track. Achieving the goals is very important.
Right. Somewhere, do you also think that we can't grow because we are scared of failing? The fear of failure?
That is the fear is there. People fear then difficult. We should not be take it as a failure, fear. So we should not never take failure as a last step.
Okay.
There should be go on attempting it.
And learn from the failure.
Yes, definitely there will be there. There will be some spark will be there.
Right.
But there will be again sometime again we can correct the situation also. So that totally we have lost it.
All right.
We are doing many
Right.
things.
So for your organization, for Neyveli Lignite, do you have a vision in the next 5 years where you want to see your organization?
Yeah, we have got a vision plan how much we have to go. Now presently we are having 2740 megawatt of power generation.
Okay.
And about 30.6 million tons of mining. And we have also got the 12th fire plan, 13th fire plan, all this every plan, By the end of 13th plan, we want to go for 11,196 megawatt power,
Okay.
and also entering into coal mining. Also, we want to enter with Uttar Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. Uttar Pradesh is a power plant, and coal mining is in Jharkhand
Okay.
and Chhattisgarh also.
Okay.
So all these plans are there. We have done a plan to become 11,000 plus megawatt of power,
Okay.
and equivalently lignite mining and also coal mining, and also acquiring coal assets abroad. That also we have making a plan. Already we got offers. We are doing due diligence, etc.
All right. So these consultancy services or these expanding your operations abroad, like we took help from German technology. Are there countries that are looking to us for help in terms of technology and helping them in their countries?
No, actually, in fact, we have improved the technology suiting to our conditions.
Okay.
Our engineers, because exactly the technology could not be just put into place here. In fact, we have developed some improvements in the technology to adapt to our conditions,
Okay.
our mining conditions, our geological conditions.
Okay.
We made some changes, our engineers have made some changes, and we are doing better. But as of now, they are not looking to our technology. But one thing, recently what we did in Neyveli, all of you know sand is very scarce.
Yes.
Sand is very scarce commodity, sand
Okay.
for the construction material. So we are getting bottom ash in the power plant. Bottom ash will be a waste material, comes out. That we made an experiment, and we found that 50% of it can be removed with a sand, so that can be used.
So these are these ash bricks that are coming out? Is
Ash
that
bricks
it?
also there.
Okay.
Ash bricks will be coming up.
Okay.
This again bottom ash means this is further waste material,
Okay.
which cannot be used. But we have made some study with one institute there
All right.
in Tamil Nadu, and our engineers started together, and they made a building as a experiment basis.
Okay.
And we will just see this, further we'll study
Okay.
how to further improve it.
Okay.
Now with this, if it is successful, then 50% of sand can be reduced requirement. Because many can see many places they are removing all the river sands are being moved, and
Yes,
doing
lot of
sand
degradation
mafias,
is happening. Yeah.
Sand mafias coming, all these are coming. So
True.
it's a very scarce material nowadays.
Right, right. Sri Surender Mohan, thank you so much for bringing your area of expertise here. A lot of learning for us, and also to understand that people who are in the mining sector are not people who are just kind of using up the resources of the earth. So there is a balance, there is a human need, there is an environmental need, and you are also trying to walk that thin line and maintain a fine balance. But thank you so much for sharing all this with us. It was a pleasure speaking with you, sir.
Thank you very much. I also learnt because this is the first interview for me for this interview.
Okay.
We are having interviews, many press interviews are there.
Right.
But this is the first time we are having such an interview, and it's a nice.